In our interview this week, Mr. Tola Johnson speaks about the MSME clinics and efforts to encourage the growth of the sector. Mr. Tola Johnson, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Well, let's take a look at MSME. You're the essay to the Vice President on this. How many states have you been to, and what is the state of the clinics right now?
I think it's glad to say we are on 21 now. 21, and before the end of the year, we have about 6 more states to go. And aside from the clinics, a lot more have happened in that space. The concept of the clinics, when it was asked almost 2 years ago, was to say the concept was to have different facets. As we go into a facet, we look at the challenges, we try and sort it out. We move to the next challenge, we try and sort it out. The biggest challenge for me will be capacity building, because you see a lot of SMEs who are very diligent in their works, but have not built their capacity to even, say for instance, we've met a lot of SMEs that do not even know how to do like a simple profit and loss account. So now, would you not say that access to finance is such MSME's problem? No, because such an MSME might think that, oh, I need 5 million at this point in time. But if their books are properly put together, they might realize that they do not need such an amount, basically, or not at that time. So what we're trying to do with agencies like SMEDAN and ITF is to train these SMEs. SMEDAN try and help them build their capacities on how to keep their books. It's very important. It's essential to keep your books as an SME. How to keep their books. Then what we have done with ITF is, ITF, where we find outstanding SMEs in different states, encourage them by offering to train some of their staff free of charge, basically. So we're trying to do that and see how far that can take us. But we're not ruling out the access to finance aspects. We now have more options for these SMEs. They have the BOI options now. They now have the DBN options, which gives them a tenure, a loan tenure of between 5 to 10 years. The BOI option that will not give you up to 10 years, but will probably give you a single digit. The DBN, because it's a competitive market, will not give you single digit at the moment, but will give you the tenure. That's 5 to 10 years. So SMEs can now decide on their own what to go with. We hope very soon we'll get to the point where we are giving loans to SMEs and we are saying these loans are being given at 3%, at 5% tops. We are going to get there.
How many people, how are you going about it? Is it in batches, in states? Who is coordinating this?
Now, the mandate of the the mandate of the ITF on the MSME committee, yes, is to fish out in every state we go to across the nation, fish out outstanding SMEs, and meet their CEOs or MDs and ask them what is lacking in terms of capacity. What do you need from us as ITF? We've seen MSMEs approach us to say, sir, we want some of our staff to go for training. However, we don't have the money to train them, blah, blah, blah. And I said to them, don't worry. ITF is not going to train everybody's staff. But what we can do is, when you meet an SME that has, say, about 11 staff, and if we're able to train 3, 4, 5 staff, basically, train them on different aspects, train them on train them on different things to build their capacity so that they can do their job better. If you have an SME who is not properly trained or skilled in the act of management, there's a likelihood that that business might fall, in no time. In as much as a lot of them believe that their immediate need is the funding, when you sit down with them and when you engage them, you realize that some of them, after speaking to them, now come to the realization, okay, maybe we need to do X, Y, Z first before we get to the stage of funding.
So the clinics, are the state government fully into this?
The clinics are so popular with the governors, and you see, what we realized was that the clinic was a tool that the government has used to to speak to a lot of the MSMEs, to feel their pulse.
And empower them?
And empower them. And it's been seamless, and it's been apolitical. We've been to states that are not APC states. We've been to PDP states, we've been to Abga states, we've been to different states. All we need is, once a government of a state shows commitment, we are there to go, basically.
What sort of impact is this having on the economy?
If the impact the clinic is having on the economy is, say, you now have better trained MSMEs, that's good for me. If the impact is, say, we now have SMEs that now understand the nitty-gritty of doing business, that's good for me. If the impact is saying an SME that has never registered their business now say, oh, okay, I should go and register my business so I can formalize my business with the government, that's good for the government. If the impact for me is, say, an SME now knows that, instead of collecting 3 million naira loan, if I arrange my books well, maybe I would collect 1.5. Maybe at the end of the year, from my other profits, I'll realize that I don't need that much. Then that's good for us. You see, it's creating an avenue where SMEs even feel wanted. Never in the history of this nation, never, I repeat, never in the history of this nation have we had a scheme that will attract the number 2. And the VP has been diligently going to the states. Out of 21 states, he has gone to 19. 19. We have never had it this good in the MSME space. Never.
So now let's talk about the trader money. We know that there are interest-free loans that have been given out to about 1 million people, and you're targeting 2 million people. Correct me if I'm wrong. So how is this going to be feasible?
The essence of trader money is to look at the bottom of the pyramid SMEs. Those selling kunu, those selling sugar cane, plantain seller, bread, those kind of people. Those kind of people, in most cases, cannot have access to funding. They cannot write a bankable business proposals. So in this case, what we've done is, okay, you see, go to different markets. What the presidency agreed was that, BOI, handle this project, go to different markets, look, speak to the market leaders in those different markets across the nation and say to them that we want to give loans. Because a lot of these SMEs, their inventory is no more than 10,000, 15,000. So for somebody that has an inventory of 10, 15,000, if the person can quickly access 10,000 naira, that's huge for them. That's huge for them because a lot of these people live on 500, 1,000 naira profits a day.
Tell us about the part requesting for PVCs, because that's actually in contention right now. Many would look at that form and see a PVC supposedly asking them to align to one party or the other.
Those forms going around basically did not emanate, they are not from our office. We don't know about those forms. Nobody from the presidency will send out a form and put president's face on one side, put VP's face on one side, and I'll say, I mean, please, I think it's time Nigerians start giving.
So there's a cloned form in circulation.
Well, the truth is that they are investigating because, I mean, we are not just going to take this on the surface of it. So they are looking to it, and what they are trying to tell the public is that they should be very careful, they should be very wary. When you see such forms, you know that it's not from the presidency.
Describe what the original form is like.
The original form is very simple. It just says trader money, and most of the questions in the original form are very, very, very simple because we understand the class of people who are trying to give this form.
What kind of questions are there?
Say your name, what you sell, maybe your date of birth, and apparently maybe I know your phone number. You know, I cannot remember everything right now, but I know your phone number, what you sell. And I think your BVN, because I mean that's the only way you can track them. You know, your BVN, and maybe your house address. Nobody is looking for any PVC. There's no. We are not even. That form does not even carry a question on whether you have a PVC or you have registered. Well,
we must thank you very much, Mr. Tola Johnson, for coming on the program.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, thank you for your mails and tweets as always. I'll take this one from Ondorfa Shija. It says, the FCT minister can do better, to be honest. The city has so much potential to be top-notch. Keep sending in your views and comments using the email address and Twitter handles on your screen. Also, be sure to share anything happening within your locality. Not to forget, you can view the program on youtube.com/channelsweb/videos. Thank you for watching this week. I'm Gloria Umizike. See you again.